everyone. So I'm actually going to walk you through how to use Nearpod.com. If you have not used Nearpod before, let me tell you, it is absolutely amazing. I recommend using it and trying out their resources. They have a lot of ways to help the children to do open-ended questions. You can integrate games. You can do a bulletin board. You can have the kids answer things with gifts. It's just so much fun to use. So first, I'm going to show you Nearpod's library. If you wanted to find a lesson on a topic, you have a couple of different ways you can do that. The first way is you could use over here in the left-hand column, you could click like the subject you want, math, and the grade level you want, 5th. And you would be able to pull up all the lessons. Another option you could do would be to type in the subject you want over in the search bar. So for example, right here, you could type in the word plants, and anything that's plant related would pull up. It will tell you the name of the topic, so parts of plants, and the grade level it's created for, which is 1st through 3rd. And then at that point, you can add it to your library, or you can just play it right from there. Okay, I'm going to take you back to my library because I have a couple of different lessons there that I love. So this one over here is one that I created. So you can preview it right there. And basically, this is a PowerPoint that I made through, I believe, Google Slides. And I just embedded it into Nearpod. And then I can show the lesson right onto the screen of my students' iPads. So whatever I see on my screen, they will see on their screens. So if we did like a live participation, they will be able to see it. So then I embedded this game right afterwards. So they learned how to make 100 with different numbers. And then they were able to do a matching game where they had to match up numbers that would equal 100 together. And I could see how many they were getting right on my screen. I could also see how many times they tried the activity on my screen. So I'm actually going to walk you through what the students see on their screen. So I'm going to take you back to my library, and I'm going to show you the live participation of rounding to the nearest 10 and 100. Okay. So this is what the lesson will look like. A code will pop up for you to give to your students. You also have the option to make it live into your Zoom meeting. You could send it through a link, put it in Google Classroom, email it, put it on Microsoft Teams, or even Remind. Once your students join, it will actually show you on the previous screen right here. It'll tell you a list of kiddos that have joined. And then they will be green. So if they're lit up green, it means that they've joined the lesson. They can see it from their iPad. Okay. Then once you've clicked the screen, they will see this screen on their screens. And so I'm just going to show you a couple things that this one had embedded in it. So one of the activities that they had embedded was they did this screen right here, where the student could round the number to the nearest 10, and they would use drawing tools. Now, this is the teacher's screen. So on your screen, what you would see is a whole bunch of little individual slides, and you would see your students actually working on the activity on their slide. The students will see this. One sec, sorry. So they will see this, and then they're able to take a pen and write down the answer on the screen, just like that. And you will see this answer on your screen, okay? They can also put in a text box if they want to and type it in. They can use pictures. They can also erase if they make a mistake. So that's a couple different options that they have. But all of these things that they're doing on their screen, you'll actually be able to see what they're doing at the same time, which is awesome. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to go back to teacher view. Okay. So as you're progressing through the lesson, you'll get to see how you'll be able to assess how your students are doing and if they're comprehending well. Okay. So then you have the option also to do a Let's Write activity where you ask a question and your students are to give an answer. So it says, what strategies do you use when rounding numbers to the nearest 10 or 100? Share your thinking using 2 to 3 sentences. Your students their names will appear here, and then their answers will appear right here. So you'll be able to see what they're thinking. So you can tell your students, you're right on track, keep going, or you might tell them to revise if their answer is not quite what you're looking for or not correct. But it also helps you to know how they're thinking. And what's great is that they can't see each other's answers. You can see their answers, but they cannot see their classmates' answers. They can only see what they've written. Some more things that you can do is you can take a quiz. So the students on their end are answering questions, and as they're answering questions, I can see how many they've gotten correct and how many they've gotten incorrect. It will show me the student's name and the score they got on each question. They can do a poll as well. So you can ask them how do they feel about how they did on the assignment, and it'll show you on the side how many kiddos said, oh, I feel like I did great, or I didn't do so well. Or if you want to ask them a question and see if they get the answer correctly, you can see what the kids answered and how many of them answered with that question. This is not on here, but another option is a little game. I'm going to leave out. It's called, I believe it's called Race to the Top or Climb the Mountain, something along those lines. But either way, it's right here. It's called Time to Climb. So when your students are playing the game, they'll have little characters that will pop up on the screen. And so it'll look like this. Their character will pop up, and then they'll begin to answer questions based on the game. So I'm trying to see. Let's see. Seeing if it will load for us so that you can see the game. So here it goes. It goes Time to Climb. And looks like it's not going to go for us. That's okay. The point is that it will allow the children to answer questions, and they'll climb up the hill based on how quickly they are answering those questions. So it's kind of like a racing game. Okay. Well, that is it for Nearpod. I hope you find this useful. I'm always an open book, so if you want to play or try it out with me, just let me know, and we can go from there. Okay? Alrighty, thanks.